affect how well you relate with others and how well your other relationships will be going. It's going to be really hard to invest in a relationship, like in a RBA, if you can't even do it in your own PBA, your own personal bank account. So.
Love that. And that's actually, I mean, it goes with everything. We can't really love someone. We can't make those relationships. We can't do that unless we have a good one ourselves. So sometimes, and that's why we always talk about self-awareness first, is because for you need to make sure that you're in check before you try to help others be in check. And so there is in the book, so in the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, he talks about six different major deposits that we can make. And we're just going to kind of briefly go over every single one of those. So the first is understanding the individual. So really caring. Has anybody had an experience where, like, it could have been the first time they met somebody, but they really invested into getting to know you for you? Has anybody had that kind of experience? I know I personally have. I've got, it's the mentor of my life, one of them anyways, and it's Bill Birch. And every single time that anybody ever sits down with him, he's the best storyteller in the world. But the first 10, 15 minutes of getting to know, like when he talks to someone, he doesn't say anything about himself. Anything. And it instantly grows that bank account so fast that anything that he ever told me or anything that I would ever watch anybody talk to him, anything he ever said was instantly gold. Where it was like completely life-changing because he invested so much into that person as an individual. And that to me is really focusing on that bank account, on pushing that individual and understanding that individual. Has anybody had an experience where someone did the exact opposite? Yeah? Anybody willing to share one?
It's just like on bad dates, you know, like all they do is just talk about themselves, you know, and you can't even get a word in, or you ask them a question and they tell you, but then they don't ask it back, you know, like it's just kind of not pleasing.
And it's like immediately closed. It's like, okay, you're done.
Yeah.
I don't even care. Aaron?
Well, and notice, if you think about how could this be applicable to like a mentoring relationship? If you want to be a mentor to a person, take those contrasting approaches. How is one going to impact the relationship versus the other? You know, if I want to go in and, you know, mentor Tyson, and I'm start all of a sudden talking about myself, all about myself, like that bad date, I can imagine that Tyson may just kind of shut me out.
Well, I also think that like there's like a balance. Like if you're trying to break through someone's walls, like trying to like get to know them for them, I found that like if you say something about yourself and then to make them comfortable to open up about themselves, really helps.
I was just about to say that, and also that my previous mentors, Cindy and Nikki, they're great. Yeah.
Two great mentors.
Yeah, exactly. Like they're wonderful. Like Cindy especially. Like I felt like she cared about me as a person, and like she wasn't trying to be my mentor. Like she was my mentor obviously, but she was like legitimately a friend, and like she was sharing me stories. We were talking, you know, like getting to know each other, and like I learned a lot from them. So.
And especially when we talk about opening up and getting to know somebody and things like that, to get more in depth, nobody will open up unless they know that you're willing to be open, and unless you're completely authentic. And authenticity is one of my like big words that I always talk about, that no one will open up to someone that's fake. That's just how it is.